Thanks, Tim. And make no mistake, we wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for the efforts of Senator Kane. He showed a mastery of the subject, legislative skill, enormous patience, and incredible effort on his part to work through a series of amendments, some of which were literally destructive amendments which would have ended our effort had we not prevailed. So thank you, Tim, time and again, you and your team and all of those of us who support you. We're happy to be in that position. So last year in the United States Senate, you probably heard me say before, we considered 22 amendments in the entire year, 22 amendments in 1 year. We did 6 amendments today. So first things first, the Senate has got the lights on, open for business, taking up legislation, actually almost debating a few times. I mean, it's really refreshing and heartening. And after what we've been through in the beginning of this year, I hope it supports into things to come, that we're going to try to work together on a bipartisan basis to solve some problems. But this one was the right one to start the debate because it got to the very heart of our constitutional responsibility, the only branch of government with the power to declare war. I can remember, I was in high school and college at the time, the Vietnam War divided this country bitterly. And at the end of it, Congress stepped up and said, I hope we've learned a lesson. From this point forward, Congress needs to be in on the decision-making of going to war. And the War Powers Act was introduced and passed over the veto of President Richard Nixon. Jake Javits, a Republican senator from New York, said this of that effort to create the War Powers Act. He said, Congress has got to get up on its hind legs and fight for its right to join in the awesome decisions of war. That, I think, really puts a finger on it. It is an authority and a responsibility under the Constitution. It is awesome because it is literally a matter of life and death when you vote on a declaration of war. No one knows that better than my colleague, Senator Duckworth, who will speak to you momentarily. But today we took a step forward to validate our role under the Constitution. I sincerely hope, that the President will not veto this, but if he does, I hope it will rally even more Republicans on their side to join us and override the veto. This really gets to the heart of why we ran for the United States Senate and took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Next up, the junior senator from Illinois, Tammy Duckworth.